Ah, Portugal, it's that time of the year again, Easter. A time for celebration, reflection, and of course, chocolate eggs.
Indeed, Brita. I must say, your fondness for tea and my preference for port make it pair, don't you think?
Opposites do attract, my dear. Just like our nations, different yet united in so many ways.
Speaking of differences, I can't help but notice your obsession with hot cross buns. What's the story behind those?
The hot cross bun, a symbol of Easter in Britain. It's said that the cross on the bun represents the crucifixion of Jesus, while the spices symbolize the spices used to embalm him.
Fascinating. Though I must admit, I prefer our traditional Easter treats like flan, sweet bread with eggs baked into it.
Yes, fola. A delightful delicacy, indeed. But you know, Portugal, Easter isn't just about food and drink. It's also a time for reflection and renewal.
You're right, Brita. Easter is a time to celebrate new beginnings and the triumph of hope over despair.
Bonjour, mes amis. Et comme bearing Easter treats, chocolates, pastry, and of course, French wine.
France, always the bearer of delicious gifts. Come in, come in. Join us in our Easter celebration.
France, always a pleasure to see you.
Easy there, old chap. Remember, it's Easter, a time for goodwill and forgiveness.
Yes, yes, of course. How could I forget?
So, what are we celebrating today, mes amis?
Easter, France. We're celebrating Easter,
A time for joy and merriment.
and a time for France to flaunt his culinary superiority.
Come now, Brita. Let's not dwell on past grievances. France is here as a friend, bearing gifts.
Yes, you're right, Portugal. My apologies, France. Please, have a seat and join us.
So, Britain, what Easter tradition do you have in store for us?
Oh, you know, the usual tea, hot cross buns, and perhaps a spot of gardening.
Aucun. Well, I'm sure our Easter celebration will be much more sophisticated.
It's okay, my dear. Let's not let France get under our skin today.
You're right, Portugal. Thank you for always being the voice of reason. France, why were we enemies?
Our history is indeed complex and filled with conflict. But perhaps it's time we set aside the animosities of the past and focus on the present.
Yes, you're right, the world has changed, and so have we. Perhaps it's time for a new chapter in our relationship.
Agreed, Britain. Let us leave bare the enmity of the past and embrace a future of cooperation and friendship.
Here's to a new beginning.
Beside, you are my favorite strong and fearless rival.
And you, France, have always been the worthy adversary that keeps me on my toes.
The eternal rivalry between you two never fails to entertain.
Indeed, Portugal. But beneath our rivalry lie a deep respect for each other's strengths and resilience.
Here's to the enduring spirit of competition and friendship.
So, France, how's business?
Business is a bustling ever, my friend. The wine trade continue to flourish, and our culinary delights are always in demand.
That's good to hear. Your wines are renowned around the world, after all.
Indeed, France's culinary expertise is unmatched. Your cuisine is a true testament to your nation's creativity and finesse.
Merci, mes amis. Your words are most kind. But enough about business. Let us focus on enjoying this Easter celebration together.
Although I did find it funny when France gifted me an alarm clock, but the instructions and the voice in the clock itself spoke French.
You must admit, it added a touch of French charm to your morning, did it not?
Indeed, it did. Though I must admit, waking up to a language I barely understood was quite the experience.
Ah, the quirks of cultural exchange. It's what makes our friendships all the more interesting.
Well, I'm glad my gift brought a smile to your face, Britain. Perhaps next time, I'll ensure the instructions are in English.
I must admit, France does have a mischievous streak. Remember that time he swapped all the tea in my pantry with French herbal infusions?
It was all in good fun, mes amis. Life is too short not to indulge in a bit of mischief now and then.
Well, I suppose it keeps things interesting. Just don't expect me to swap my tea for French herbal infusions anytime soon.